Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of the 1,000-gallon paludarium. So today what we're going to be focusing on is making sure that this tree stays secure. We're going to be building a fake rock over here to hide a basking light, and then we're going to be putting on the scratch coat to make sure that all the concrete for the second layer doesn't fall off. But it shouldn't be too hard today. It'll take a few hours, so let's get to it. This screwed in place. Now it's time to build the rock in the corner, and then we're going to do the scratch coat. This thing is huge. Alright, so here's the fake rock base that we've been carving out. So the back will be open. So you can see how the light is mounted. The metal actually goes through the top. It was the only way to get it to stay. And so you just pull this pin out, and then you can just slide this down backwards. And then in the front, we've got an angled pointing, so we'll have concrete all around that. And then the basking spot can be right here for the heat. And then that crack will kind of be accentuated there and just go right along there. But yeah, it took a while, but I think we're good to go. All right, this is a little spray mixture we're gonna put on here. So we've got 50% glue, 50% water. This will help make the wall tacky for the concrete to be able to adhere to any place we don't have the mesh on. So pretty simple matter, just gotta spray it on.
Now this first coat was actually too runny. I later learned that I needed to have a higher mixture of glue to water, so I went back over with just glue instead of the water mixture. Then I stapled all of this mesh in place. This would have worked really well if I had used the correct gauge of wire. Later on I explained that this wire is just too thin. and I can't actually get the concrete through the holes. So this was totally redundant. I should have used a different material, but I had this window screen on hand and I thought I would try it out. But that was a mistake.
Yeah, thanks. Wow.
This first batch of concrete ended up being a little bit too thick. I should have added more water at this point, but this was just my test area. This is why I started with the rock, because it didn't really matter if the concrete was too thick or thin in this area, because I don't have to worry about this falling off the wall and killing an animal. So that's why I started here. Later on, I learned that I needed to add more water to the mixture and ended up making it easier to spread out and to become stickier as well. So just test out your ratios when you're doing this, guys. This area was really frustrating to work in. The mortar kept falling off and I kept having to re-screed it on there. And as I kept working and trying to apply it to the mesh, then stuff kept falling off there because there were little bubbles and it wasn't completely flat. I thought that would be helpful, but it turned out to be just a nightmare to work with. And so I'm really glad that I ended up changing my plans.
I have two things of bad news. A, my phone died while I was filming and I didn't realize. B, this whole mesh thing is not going to work. I should have gotten a bigger screen because it can't actually fit through here. So I've already taken the top down, but I have to take this bottom piece down now. So it's going to be a big hassle, but sometimes you just got to learn from your mistakes.
Alright, in the last clip I told you that we're going to need to take down all the screen. I actually ended up changing my mind and I cut slits in the top of this screen. And what I would do is I would pour the concrete down into the slit and then screed it out or smoothen it with my trowel. You can kind of see that here. I should have changed the camera angle, but it's okay. But that ended up working really well and turned into an amazing scratch coat. Now, I did that in several different places, including on the right side. I'm not sure if that's captured in the camera, but it made my life a lot easier. But I definitely will not be using this screen in the future. It's too small. As you guys can see here, this coat is going on a lot easier. I ended up making the mix a little bit runnier, just so it was a little bit thinner to spread on, and it ended up sticking a lot better and was way faster to spread. Now, in the next clip, you'll see that I kind of gave up with using the trowel because I was running out of time and it was about midnight at this point, and I really just wanted to get this done so I could go to bed. But in the next clip, then I ended up using my hand to just use instead of the trowel, and that made things go so much faster. And I should have just done that from the beginning. It would have made my life a lot easier. But I wanted to try to be professional. So sometimes speed takes more prowess.
All right, we have the whole back of this concreted. That's where the tree is gonna go, so we'll do that tomorrow. That's also where the waterfall will come out, so I gotta drill that hole once this is all sculpted. But you can kind of see how everything is coming out, what it's gonna look like in the future. Oh, it's been a long day. It's been 13 hours we've been doing this, so it's almost 1 o'clock right now. Yeah.